Number 2, marriage is to be seen as goodness and favor from the Lord. Proverbs 18:22 puts it this way, that we are to be those who find the Lord, and let me read it to you. Proverbs 18:22. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. I regularly tell Bonnie, I said, you are the greatest gift that I've gotten in life. You're the one person in the whole world I would like to spend all my time with. Did you know that? That really, it's honest. Now I'll tell you one thing that isn't true, but I'll tell it to you anyway. Sometimes at night I wake up, I can't sleep, and when I'm real still, I go like this, and I open my eyes, not make any noise, and I look over at Bonnie, and do you know what I see? She has wings. She's an angel. I'm actually living with an angel. And but as soon as I make any noise, whoop, they come in. That isn't true, but I do say that all the time. Okay, number 3, marriage. Look what God says, not in Proverbs. Marriage is to be to a companion of our youth that we make a covenant with for life. Guess what? When I met Bonnie, I weighed 160 pounds. I worked out constantly lifting weights. I ran with the guys. We used to run the bleachers. I did everything, you know. I just was athletic. And now look what she has. You know, I've lost all my hair. I'm losing my teeth. All my muscles have moved down here, you know. And you ever notice how men get really big, you know, their stomachs grow and everything? I'm no longer like I was in my youth. But guess what? I'll tell you another story about Bonnie. When we were dating, I was a butler for a neurosurgeon who was so wealthy. The home they lived in had 9 bathrooms and how many fireplaces? I cleaned them all. Maybe 10 fireplaces. You know, they had a mansion. He had 10 cars. He had twin Mercedes. He had a stretch limousine. He had one of those big tire cars that you have to go up a ladder to get into. He had a sports car like a Corvette Stingray. He had all of these garages of cars. And I was his butler. My job was to drive his cars down and get them washed. I didn't wash them. I got them washed for him. I did all these things for him. He was a Christian. He was very wealthy. Then I met Bonnie, my very last month at school. I'd been there 8 years. My last month, I met her. And I said, Doctor, I met this girl and I want to take her out on a date. Can I use one of your cars? He says, you can use any of them you want. So my first date, I went in the Mercedes. I mean, that thing had heated everything. Heated seats, heated doorknobs, heated outdoors. I mean, and the top moved and everything, and the air conditioning just blew your hair. It was really something. So I picked Bonnie up and went on a date. The next day, I went in the stretch thing. And I pulled up this limousine, and I opened the door, and Bonnie got in. Then I went in the Jeep thing, you know, and she had to climb up in it. On the 4th date, I went in my car. My car was rusted. Do you know what rust means? It turns red and the metal. My car was so rusted, I had a plastic mat, because there were holes through the floor. And when it rained, it would splash up. So I put plastic mats, big heavy ones, on both sides so that the water wouldn't spray into the car. And we went on a date in that. And I said, oh, by the way, it was so rusted that the door went, you know, like that. On that date, I said, as I was opening the door, it was going, it was my car. I said, honey. Well, no, I didn't call her honey yet. I said, Miss Brand, I said, I'm so sorry that we have to go in this old, rusty car tonight. And do you know what she said to me? I'll never forget. She said, is this different than the other nights? You know what she told me? She said, I didn't even notice what car. I was only paying attention to you. Now, you know what? She still thinks I'm handsome, even though I've gotten old and fat. Marry someone that is a companion of yours through life. It's very exciting.